Hey everyone, welcome to the Eye Opener Society live on Facebook.
What's up?
This is a really special evening, the end of April 30th, actually, and that's what we've been waiting on. This is our very first Behind the Eyes live episode. So I was hoping everybody could join us today. We could all sit back, relax, discuss the show, discuss what's been going on behind the scenes, probably get some people turned on to this and all. So we're going to, kind of do a little bit of filler here until some more people come into the room. There's not too much I can see. We're trying all new stuff here. We're no stranger to doing this. However, we just want to make sure everything is going on correctly. Are we live? That's the only thing I'm concerned
Yeah, we are.
Oh, we are?
It just
Yeah, we are. Yeah. Nice. Okay, cool. So my name is Gary. This is my stepdaughter, Hannah.
What's up?
We run a show called the Eye Opener Society. And we've been doing this, for a year now under the Eye Opener Society, because I was doing this, prior, doing my own podcast. And then Hannah joined me one day, and Hannah never left. And that's a really good thing. We had to change everything up because of that, because she lends so much excitement, new ideas. And we really get so excited about doing these shows. And we threw this here Behind the Eyes on a little while ago. It was just an idea I had where we can, at the end of the month, we just go over all the episodes we did.
Yeah.
And we just kind of talk about them, like in a kind of a relaxed way, like you and I just talking, and give an idea how the topics came up or why they came up. And we just, go over some talking points or some things we might have missed. So that's what we were doing. And we put it up on YouTube and we put it up on Rumble. And I said, well, we're going to save some ideas. Like if we ever wanted to do video stuff, we're going to use Behind the Eyes to do that.
Yeah.
So we kept doing a few test runs with Facebook Lives, and we finally got it right. We got things set up, and I said, okay, let's do Behind the Eyes.
Yeah, we were like, let's switch it up.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to do this exclusively every month for those that do listen. We'll record it. I might use it like a extra episode on the actual regular podcast too as well. So we just I'm going to record it. We're going to have fun. There's going to be some interaction. I'm just giving a little bit of time here. I'm just waiting for more people to come into the room and get notified, because that's always the hard part when it comes to Facebook. It doesn't notify, even though I pay for stuff, and even though people follow, sometimes it just doesn't come up right away.
Yeah, it doesn't, unfortunately.
So we got some people in here.
What's up? Say hey.
Yeah, so if anybody's in here, say hello, and this way we know you're there, because this is an interactive show too. Because when we go over the previous episodes that we have done, we're going to discuss the topics, and then we're going to open up, and you can lend your own ideas, thoughts, comments. We do not debate. We don't get into arguments. This is not that type of a show. So, we respect everybody here. Be respectful too as well. Pretty soon, I think Sarah, she's our moderator. She'll be jumping in here and she'll be moderating things, but either her or us, if you start spamming us, we're going to boot you immediately. All right. We're not into that.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, there she is. Nice.
I can hear it on your phone.
Yeah. I'll lower that down.
I was like, what am I hearing? And that's why I was giving you a weird look. I was like, I'm going in. I was like, I'm going in.
Yeah. So everybody, in the meantime, they'll welcome Sarah. Sarah, again, she's a real dear friend of ours. And she's been a moderator for us. She does such a great job on this. Takes a lot of the pressure away from us too, so we don't got to worry about diving in and doing stuff. But she'll be moderating the comments. So, like I said, once the show starts getting in there, jump into the comments, talk with us, go over some of the talking points. Hannah and I, we just recorded the episode for the next month last night.
Yeah, we did.
So we got that out of the way. We release our shows every Monday. And so it's either 4 or 5 episodes, depending on how many Mondays there are in a month. And like I said, then we go over them on our Behind the Eyes episode. So like I said, I want everybody to kind of sit back, relax, join us as we get, rolling over here. again, I'm still going to wait till some more people come in. So Hannah and I were just going to sit back and we're going to talk.
Yeah, I know. I was like looking at my roots. We have been just soaking in the sunshine.
Yeah.
And I am so burnt. Like my face is actually a lot better than what it was yesterday, I think.
Yeah, it is.
But like my scalp, oh my God, it hurts so bad. I don't think I've ever experienced this before. So like I'm like, oh my God, it hurts to the touch. I'm like, can I put aloe in my hair? Like, I don't know how that would go with texture, you know?
Yeah, that wouldn't feel very good.
Yeah, probably not. But,
yeah, so Hannah, like I said, for those of you that don't know, Hannah is my stepdaughter. We all live together on the same roof.
Yeah.
So
for about a year now. Yeah.
Yeah, for a year. So
I was like, hey, do you guys want to move in?
Yeah, it makes life sometimes easier. You know, we all struggle together. That's the way we do it. But that's how we do our show. We do our show together. We have our own studio down here. This is it. We kind of section it off, and it's our sacred studio.
Yeah.
We did a sacred studio episode. But Hannah and I, like I said, we enjoy doing this. Actually, her and I, we enjoy just sitting and talking to each other, especially now, like spring, summer. Man, we sit back and we have some deep discussions sometimes, you know, especially outdoors. We sit, we smoke our cigars, and we talk about a lot of stuff, and a lot of that stuff sometimes
ends up on the
podcast because we start to stimulate conversation and get some ideas and topics, and we go out there and we record some podcast episodes based on some of our conversations. Most of our show is unknown to each other a lot of times. We'll come in to the studio, we'll sit down, one of us has the topic for the night, and neither one knows what it is, you know, and then we've just revealed it. This is the topic, and this way the show is basically conversation style. That's what I like. It's just a plain conversation, no arguing, nothing like that. We do all this unscripted.
We do.
Yeah, sometimes we keep some notes, but that's about it. I got my notepad here for tonight, but we do everything unscripted. And our show, the Eye Opener Society, we are just basically regular people, and we talk about life. You know, how to get through it, how to see things from a different perspective. The Eye Opener Society that name came from I had a room or a Facebook page years ago, like many years, when I found out that, you could create another room, you know, or a new page.
Yeah.
And I just named it the Eye Opener Society because I'm into all of the conspiracies, and I'm into all of the, you know, UFOs and stuff. And I was going to keep that like a group page where I was going to get people with similar ideas in there. So that's what we did. When we were, you know, trying to name the new show, and I said, I already have it. It's sitting there. It's on a page. So we just created the page and made it what it is today. So that's what we're talking about. Again, we're still, like I said, I'm just kind of rambling because I'm trying to wait for some more people to get in here. I figured everybody would have jumped in. It's nice you see, like, you know, definite people come in. You show like 80 people interested, and then you got to sit and wait because nobody gets notified. But I put this out a month ago. Don't wait for Facebook to notify you. If you see something you're interested in and you're interested in the event, copy the date and time down, and then jump onto our page. This way you could jump in there and, you know, check it out. So like I said, I just want to kill a little bit of time until some more people jump in.
Yeah, I just went in onto the actual event that we created, and I just added everyone. I was like, at everyone, we are live.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that just helps. Because Facebook, man.
Yeah, it's definitely slow, and that's what I mean. We got to sit and kind of fill in some time because, like I said, we are recording this. This may wind up on, you know, one of our regular podcast episodes, like a bonus episode every month. I'll put it out a couple months after, something like that. So we are, again, the Eye Opener Society. If you haven't listened to our podcast, we are on all major platforms. So just, you know, type in Eye Opener Society. We do have a webpage, eyeopenersociety.podbean.com. It has all the episodes on there. If you wish to listen on, you know, Podbean, but we also have a YouTube channel and Rumble channel. Sometimes we stick some episodes. I've been getting into the video thing a little bit, but I think this Facebook Live is going to be the real video portion of stuff. If you want to see us,
lives.
Yeah. So I say we might do a little bit more of these as time goes on, not just the Behind the Eyes episodes, but we may do some special episodes and stuff like that where we just jump on when we got a chance, because time is kind of precious to us. It's a little difficult. Hannah's got a 2-year-old. My wife has to babysit, and it makes it a little difficult. So that's why I'm hoping more people jump in, because we're on a time schedule here. I hope for an hour-long show, depending how exciting it gets and how many people join us as well. So I'm just kind of, again, rambling. I thought there was going to be a lot more people than this.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. I know it always happens, and then it starts picking up like crazy a little bit later on into the show. I just don't want to start hitting some talking points. We missed
Kenton Stonewell, and it's going to be good stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, I seen that one a little bit earlier. Thank you.
I usually try to shout out all the comments that we get.
Yeah.
If you're still here, we appreciate it. Yeah, it is good stuff. We work really hard on the podcast, and like you said, I have a 2-year-old. We both work full time, and we still just sit down and we give this show. We love to do this show, so I love doing the lives.
Yeah.
It's just something that I love to interact with people. Of course, I love to record the podcasts, I've recorded some deep ones recently, and I love to do that. But lives, I'm just I love the interaction with people. I love answering questions on the spot. I kind of like that hot seat thing, it kind of plays a battle with my anxiety. And I think that's why I like it so much.
There you go. See that? There's a lot of bravery with Hannah, because she suffers from crippling anxiety and a whole host of other things, but she's here in the seat, and she can do it. There was a couple times she started off the show. She's getting better with that and all. So I'm really excited about that, because she does show a lot of effort, and she puts a lot of effort into it. Half the things she talks about, I could never get on the air and talk about.
Yeah.
So, but that's good. And that's why I kind of like this format with Behind the Eyes, because we can actually now not just talk about it, but we could get feedback from it too as well, which I kind of really like and enjoy.
Yeah. Well, while we're still waiting for a couple more people to join, just wanted to, I wanted to shout out Waterloo. Oh my gosh. I'm just still over the moon about that. I had sent them an email, and I was just letting them know, because Gary drinks them, and my son, he grabbed a hold of the can one day when we were outside at a nice day, and he was chugging it. And I got oh, sorry. Caden had me up all night. But he had grabbed the Waterloo and was chugging it. I got a cute picture and a cute video, and I just sent it to him, and I was like, I appreciate your guys' product. It's healthy, it's not overpowering. It's just my 2-year-old is obsessed with it. And they sent me a generic, yeah, we're so happy for the feedback, out of the blue yesterday. He's like, you got something in the mail from Waterloo. I was like, what? And we open it up, and it's a cute sticker, a coupon, and then a free product coupon. So we were like, dang. So yeah, Waterloo, it's great. It's a seltzered water. They got a bunch of different flavors.
Yeah, I drink it all the time, because I hate chemicals and all that. So I'm always looking for something to drink that's natural, that's got a little bit of flavor. But I was going to mention them a little bit later on, actually. That's quite all right. I mean, we'll be repeating it again, along with our other
you want to dive
sponsors and all that. So we might as well dive in, because I mean, like I said, we're killing almost 15 minutes here, so we'll get into this. So this is Behind the Eyes. We do, like I said, between 4 to 5 episodes per month, every Monday. So it depends how many Mondays are in the month. And we do our topics, we do our show. And then at the end of the month, we were doing this kind of a wrap-up show. It's a behind the scenes where we talk about it, and we talk about the topics and stuff like that. So this, again, is a great forum for us, so we could get a little bit of interaction. So if we go back to the beginning of the month, the first show that we did, oh, there we go.
Hey, Corey, what's up?
That's Corey. How you doing? Cool deal, my man. Welcome. Corey has his show from Nonsense and Deep Thoughts. They're another podcast variety show, what I like to call them, because they got so
everything.
They cover everything from
I love it.
sports.
He just had his daughter on the show for her 10th birthday. I think it was 10.
It was a 10.
Yeah, and she did so good. It was such a cute little show, and I can just tell like he has a future little podcaster.
Mhm.
Like I think that they should have, like I had mentioned it to him before. I was like, your guys' wives should have a
Mhm.
channel in the pod. I think she should just have a cool little like
Get her own little podcast.
yeah, get her
going.
like a little podcast going.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure she pays up though for the whatchamacallit, for the distribution site
Yeah.
and all that. That's all.
Like your like allowance.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we kicked off the month, man. We're getting into spring, so when we went back to the beginning of this month, everything was changing. The
Mhm.
weather was still miserable, and I was kind of miserable too. But the first episode we did was called Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my topic basically, and so the whole concept with that, it started with something that happened in an older job that I was in. You know, it was doing tow trucks and stuff like that, and I walked into work and they had all these, corporate posters, and everybody was saying, "You're a hero, you're a hero,"
Yeah.
and you see all the tow truck guys rolling like, "You're a hero, you're everybody." And I sat there looking at my boss, looking at these
I am
things.
so offended right now.
I don't get offended about shit, but I was like, oh my God, I am offended. And for those that don't know, I mean, I came from a public safety background and all that. And I was in New York City, emergency medical services and all that. And I'm just looking at it. And, I lost friends or people that I worked alongside of in 9/11 and all. So I'm looking at these posters calling just average people heroes.
Yeah.
And I was just so offended. I literally made them take the posters down. I said, I don't care what corporate says. Let corporate say something and I'm going to file a complaint about it.
Yeah. You're like, this is like, no.
Yeah. So I went and started just talking about hero and the misuse of the word hero. That was the whole topic of the show. I was saying, wow, hero gets thrown around a little too much just for anybody, for any job. You're a hero, you're a hero. But yet, the real heroes, the real public safety and all that, the people that are actually doing something, it doesn't necessarily have to be public safety. Like I said, there's a lot of civilians that do amazing things too. I think the word really needs to be reserved.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
For only, certain times, certain places, and for certain people.
Yeah.
So that's why. So
that was a good show, and it definitely it made me kind of like edge of the seat because it's like you just kind of like really sit back and you're like, shit, like dang, you got a point there. You got a good point there.
Yeah, because like I said, it boils down to these little posters and the corporate nonsense and stuff like that. So that's why I got so offended with it.
Corey said the tough part is each person has their own criteria for who is a hero to them. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Because you can look at like my father is a hero, my mother's my hero kind of thing. It's all in how you define the word, I guess, too. So it does. And I think we touched on that. It's like it kind of gets lost in translation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you cannot use the word hero, but I'm just I think it's oversaturated, overused. And so when someone actually does something heroic, that word is going to be like just another word, really, Yeah,
he said it's on. Get your point. It's definitely on an individual basis. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But like I said, my basis was I was offended by it.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I said, man, hero? I said, who's a hero? I go out there and change tires.
I go out there and change a battery.
Yeah. It's like, and most of the time I'm changing tires for men. They're sitting in their car waiting for me to change. I'm like, dude, I'm not a hero, man. I'm doing what you should be doing.
Yeah.
So, that was the whole, background to hero.
Yeah.
But it was a good episode because I always like to try and start the month off with something strong, and then
it's kind of like controversial. I think we did say it's kind of like a controversial type of topic, which we usually try to stay away from, but it wasn't. I don't think we were intentionally meant to, make it controversial. It's just like one of those things where it's like it's our opinion. Like I just feel like the word is oversaturated.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was controversial. I mean, some people take offense maybe they're saying, "Oh, I'm a hero," or
Yeah.
But I don't think that's controversial. pretend who you want to be all the time. I don't care. But like I said to some people, I'm just,
I can
offended.
be a hero, baby.
Yeah, man.
I hear the word and hear the song in my head.
Yeah, for sure, man. See, and there's another, overuse. It's used in, music and all that. But hey, listen,
It's
again,
not controversial to the point where people should be angry, though. Yeah, if they are, they're wild. True.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think you might have said something about school teachers.
Yeah.
But that's not controversial. Again, I don't see them as heroes. They're not doing anything heroic.
Yeah.
I mean, if they saved a child from a burning school, use the word.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm good with it.
I think I had mentioned too, like, just like there's random acts of like kindness where they don't expect anything in return, So like, if like you're driving down the road, like my mom,
right? Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
I didn't even know she did that. Yeah, my wife driving.
And that's what makes a hero. My mom, what was that? 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, she's driving down the highway. She's going to my aunt's house, and a motorcyclist, they were doing road work and didn't have any warning signs. A motorcyclist lost control of his bike and slid off of.
They crashed, basically.
They crashed. And she stopped and, performed CPR. Unfortunately, he did pass away, but she stopped and, she comforted him in his, so. Yeah, heroic in my opinion.
There's heroism because if you're going outside of your comfort zone and doing that can make you a hero. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, hey, Jim from Real Men Hug, buddy, thank you for joining us. Welcome. So I can't see from my phone. Can you read?
Hey, hello. Fellow podcasters, Jim here. It seems that people use the term to make themselves feel like part of something bigger than themselves. It's not often followed up with any external showings of support, like hospitals paying their nursing staff more during COVID as opposed to giving them hazard pay.
Yes, that's a really good point. Yeah. I like that. And again, thanks for the feedback, man. This is the whole point of the Behind the Eyes. I like that.
Corey said something good too. The one thing that's overdone, you mentioned this, is the whole influencers doing acts of charity and filming it for like deals. I'm conflicted on it.
Yeah,
we had talked about this, I think, briefly.
Yeah. If you're doing a good deed, man, do the good deed. It's like the people,
and give yourself a pat on the back. Don't feel the need to post about it. My mom, she did that, and like literally, she didn't post like I stopped and tried to save his life. You know what she did? All she posted was, "Please say a prayer to the motorcyclist that was in an accident."
I didn't even know what she did. I had no idea.
He had no idea for 2 days later.
I had no idea.
2 days later. Because my mom called me and she's like, he passed away. And I was like, oh, like, and he's like, what are you guys talking about? And he didn't even know,
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely. So it's kind of like the thing, your real friends are the ones that talk good about you behind your back kind of thing. So it's the same thing with these influencers. Just do something. If you want to do something good, just do something good.
Yeah, Corey said the only conflicting part is that it could inspire others to do the same. However, it's overdone and it's done in poor taste. I agree.
The poor taste, that's the perfect wording, I think.
Yeah.
Poor taste. Your intentions are probably right. And you're right. You may be encouraging other people to do good, but poor taste. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah. Thank you, Corey. Listen, if you guys, anybody that's in the room that is a podcaster, I have no problem. Normally I'll kick anybody else out for spamming, but if you guys have a podcast, go ahead, drop your links. This way some people could see it, especially later on when people, check out the replay and all that. So go ahead, drop the link. Sarah, don't ban anybody if they're dropping podcast links. Yeah. So
next show.
Yeah. So the next show,
my show.
It was your show. Talk about it.
Yeah. I did spring cleaning of the mind. We're in spring now. And, I was like, you know what? I want to do something about spring cleaning, but I didn't want to sound like cliche as far as just sit there and talk and tell you to pick up a mop and a broom. I wanted to talk about, we try to keep things somewhat metaphysical at most times. Right. And I was like, let's talk about spring cleaning of the mind. And it kind of opened my eyes as far as like what I needed to do for me personally. Like I had sat, I think, for about an hour and went through like all of my social medias and like removed people from following me, or I've unfriended people. And I can't tell you like something just small like that on how much it helped my mind, because I didn't have to. It wasn't that I was worried about what people were seeing, because they were on my friends list anyway, and I've always been weird about that. But it was just like I didn't have to, like, I got rid of the people that I'm like, you don't benefit me in my life. I don't benefit you in your life. And there's really no point in me seeing your stuff. I know that sounds horrible, but it just did something positive for me. And then, I believe I mentioned, I see my problem is I'll think of things afterwards, but that's the purpose of this show.
The show, exactly.
As far as spring cleaning of the mind, for me, it's just like reflecting on the past, year or so, and just really, going through things that I went through and evaluating like how it impacted the woman I am today.
Right. When we sat down and when you mentioned to me, the spring cleaning of the mind, that was good. You had your way of looking at it, and then I had my way of looking at that too, because I'm cleaning out my mind almost every day. It's almost like, and see, again, an afterthought, it's like clearing out the cache in a computer.
Yes.
All the dump, clean out all your browsing history, take that moment. At the end of the day, all the garbage and the junk that built up in your head and all the frustrations, the aggravation and all that.
Yeah.
Dump it. Just clean it. Hit that delete button. That's cleaning out the mind. That's beneficial. That helps you. It helps with meditation. It helps with everything in life that you're able to do that.
It makes me think of that quote. It's like such a overused quote. Like I seen it on like boardwalk t-shirts for like the inhale the good shit, exhale the bullshit.
Yeah.
Like it's like cliche things like that where you're like, oh, so overdone, but and you see it on a boardwalk t-shirt, but now you're like, when you like look at it at a metaphysical side and spring cleaning of the mind, you're like, oh shit, that shit makes sense, because you can do that on the daily,
Yep, exactly. And it's one of these things too that, if people are interested in the meditation side of it and the relaxing, but they can't get involved in it, these are simple, small steps that you can take to start doing it. Think about that. Think about just deleting all the cache from your computer, cleaning it out, your browser history. Just if you visualize it, it will happen. And that's one way to clean out that mind. And then it's fresh to take on newer stuff, better stuff.
Yeah.
That's what, the point of that is. It's good to do it during the spring, like for you, it's a good start, but you're also going beyond just your mind. You're going into like friends lists and, getting rid of people out of your life and everything else.
At the end of the day, that benefits you mentally, whether you think it, if you like broaden in your mind and thinking about it, like last week or 2 weeks ago, he had come home and me and my mom are just on this cleanse. I'm like, that was last week. I'm like, he comes in and there's like 2 industrial sized trash bags of my clothes, because I cleaned out my closet and my mom cleaned out some of her closet, so she had a bag. We had a big bag of shoes, and I can't tell you how empowered and like, oh my God, it was like exploding energy that was like coming from me doing that, because it's just like, it just made me feel what's the word? Rejuvenated. Did I say that right?
Rejuvenated.
Yes,
that's right.
I have a problem with words. Okay. But it just does something to me. Like, it's not even just clearing my cache or cache. I call it cache. It's not just that, it's physical stuff does that to me mentally. It's so like I think I said on the podcast, like spring cleaning the mind is like, it just goes so much farther than that. Like physical things, friends list, anything.
Yeah, it's getting rid of all that extra weight, the extra baggage that you're carrying around that you don't need.
And I find it so much easier and better, and myself more willing to do it when it's springtime, because when it's like, a lot of people use like new year, new me, like they use that.
Yeah.
And I don't know about y'all, but like during the new year, I'm cold. I'm miserable. I live in Pennsylvania. So I'm like in like 10-degree weather and I'm hating my life. My depression is at an all-time high because I'm physically miserable. Um, and so like that doesn't really work for me.
Mm-hmm.
But spring, everything is coming alive again and I'm coming alive again. You know, I'm still battling anxiety and battling depression, but just something about just spring. It's like I can really reflect on that past year from spring to spring and everything is coming alive. So I'm like, I'm coming alive and I'm not going to allow what I went through negatively in the past year define me this year.
Mm-hmm. It's a rebirth. If you want to look at it in the
Yes.
metaphysical sense, it's a rebirth. And spring is the rejuvenation of life, and where winter represents death. And that's why most people get depressed during winter. And then I always thought, what about people that live in temperate zones? Do they experience seasonal depression? Can they?
Yeah.
Because there isn't any season sometimes, right?
If we have a follower on here, you know, let us know.
Yeah. If anybody lives in a temperate zone, is there such a thing as seasonal depression where you live? If it's continuously beautiful, or like Alaska, where, you know, the suicide rates are very high there because, you know, obviously because of the darkness, the constant cold. So
sun lamps.
Mm-hmm, sun lamps. Yeah, absolutely. You're right. Sun lamps is something that I had to look into for a while because even though I never really used it, but during the winter, I get seasonal depression bad sometimes. It's lightening up a lot, but yeah, sun lamps do help. They have light boxes too that you're supposed to stare into, and that's supposed to
I was going to buy one
that.
of those this past winter because, oh my God.
Yeah. But you know what? We got each other though.
Yeah, we do. We
So
do.
that actually helps more
it.
than anything else.
We got
through it. So yeah, we might not need all the artificial stuff. Before we jump into the next topic,
I was gonna say that. I was like, because I said, what did I say? I said, speaking of inhale, I was totally gonna do that, but I was like, oh,
speaking of which, I don't know if Sarah's in the room yet or not to help with the the link dropping and all that.
I've heard frequent vacations to the tropics help.
Yeah. Yes. I also heard you need money to do that.
I know. I'm like trying to plan a vacation for myself in September, and I'm just like, let's see if this happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But if you do go to the tropics or you go any place, we want everybody to check out Bear Blend. All right. This is some good stuff. Bear Blend, we picked them up. We're ambassadors for them. They help support us. Anybody that buys stuff off of the link that we give. I don't know if Sarah's in the room yet or ready to drop the Bear Blend link, which is bearblend.com. Yeah, bearblend.com/tribe/Eye-Opener Society. And if you pick up some stuff, listen, this is your stuff. I mean, it's just 100% organic herbs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spill it because, you know.
There she is.
Hey, she's got us. I shouldn't doubt her.
I was going to say, why are you doubting her?
I don't doubt her. I just want to make sure she was, ready. But yeah, Bear Blend anyway. I smoked this. Mm-hmm. You smoke it. They have 100% natural, no additives, no addictive chemicals, no nicotine in the cigarettes. They got the vape juice for vapors like you. They have CBD oils. They actually have some that actually has 0.3% THC.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for that little bit of a higher buzz, they have that too as well. So listen, 21 or over, please. But Bear Blend is some of my favorite stuff. I love smoking this stuff, and it's also great for ritual, and that's their whole slogan: live life through ritual.
We don't support anything that's not.
Yeah, that's why I'm very, very strong about that. So yeah, we absolutely love them.
And of course, next shout out is Reaper Apparel.
Reaper Apparel, sorry.
Yes.
I had to move the microphone. There it is.
Reaper. Well, Sarah will drop the link in the comments. ReaperApparelCO.com. If you go there, you can use the code Eye-Opener Society 10%, and that's 10% sign. You'll get 10% off. Just a wonderful company. He started it during COVID. Dan, that's his name, right?
Dan, yep. Mm-hmm.
And, he was going through it and he started Reaper. And, the message is so powerful, dying to live. it's just a company that, for me, when, Gary was like, we're going to do this, like we're ambassadors for this company, like it warmed my heart because, the message and, just Dan's story and what he went through. It's just great to support a company like this. They got stickers, keychains, sweatshirts, shirts. Gary's wearing one right now. He's got a hat. They have everything, if you don't like the designs, that's fine. Maybe someone in your life does. We always recommend them. If you want to buy us something, I'm a small, he's a large. But yeah, Reaper Apparel, they're great. We love them. Check them out.
Yep. So then we went on to another one of my topics, and that episode was called Artificial Flavoring.
Yeah.
Now, I'm glad we're doing Behind the Eyes because when I did that, I think we had finished. I think we recorded 3 episodes back to back.
Oh, yeah.
So the hard thing for us is, like I said, is trying to find time to record these. So we try to sit and record at least all of them sometimes.
Yeah, we do.
All at once. So we're sitting here in the studio and we're talking. The only negative to that is I get tired. I listened to the episode the other night. I heard the exhaustion in my voice.
Yeah.
And I was so excited about this episode, and I think I missed a few things.
You're good, Sarah.
Yeah, thanks. We appreciate it. But
it's 10% with the percent sign, Sarah.
10% sign.
Sorry, Sarah.
Thanks. So I did artificial flavoring, and artificial flavoring was not just about food, even though we did touch on that because we talk about that again. We, Waterloo and Stir.
Yes.
Bear Blend, all natural ingredients. But we always talking about artificial flavorings and how I ruin everybody's outings when it comes to food, because I'm always reading the ingredients and telling you what horrible crap is actually in there. So
have a good night, Jim. He said he's getting off his kids, get kids off electronics and ready for bed. We love you. Have a great night. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, man. Yeah, really appreciate it, man. So, yeah, everybody check out Real Men Hug. Another great podcast, too. I can't wait to get on their show as well. Real Men Hug. Check them out on all your favorite listening platforms, too, as well. So artificial flavoring, like I said, I'm always ruining everybody's meals because I'm reading ingredients. And I'm telling people what poison this is.
I know.
And I ruin everybody.
And I'm the helicopter mom that doesn't let my child have dye or stuff unnatural. And my family's all like, why? And I'm like, I don't have to give you a reason.
Exactly. So
because no.
Right. And we try to eat healthy, whatever healthy, but it's very hard to find stuff.
Ann.
What's up, Ann? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. But I was like, it goes beyond food.
It does.
In life. And when you look at everything and how much stuff is artificial now, life is artificial. And of course, I went on the chemtrail kick, weather modification, even our weather isn't even real anymore. So I was hitting on that a lot. Then there was I heard a podcast from Just Us Thinking. If you guys want to check them out too, Just Us Thinking. I love listening to them. They had an episode, on sex dolls.
Yeah.
And I sat and I said, wow, I never even thought about it. So even sex is artificial too now.
Yeah.
So you could sit and just pick the things that are artificial, outside of food. Because even farming is becoming artificial too. So, even the process of making food is artificial.
Bioengineered ingredients.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm kind of disappointed in life, and that's why I decided to bring up that show, Artificial Flavoring, saying, look, just how much stuff, where does the real world come back into play?
Yeah.
Where do we sit and actually live life with natural stuff, natural clouds, real sex? I mean, whatever it may be, it's about time we start becoming real again.
She said, just came back from Italy. Son had no issues and he has Crohn's. They take food serious in Europe.
Yeah. Yeah. See, there's a big difference too between foods in other countries and what they allow in the foods.
Additives.
Yeah. So I really do think it is a national problem or an American problem just because of the junk that we put in.
Yeah. The show, it was more towards about like things of life. We like didn't touch on food that much.
Right. We
But
did.
I told him, I was like, I could do a whole podcast on
Absolutely.
literally just the food. Because like Ann was saying, like, it's crazy that the United States does not ban red dye 40, blue 5, yellow 3, and everything like that. But there are so many other countries out there that it has been banned for years already. Like, it's insanity because so many health issues, serious health issues, are linked to these artificial dyes that they're putting in food. And, you know, aloha. You know, so many people will argue, like, I get it from my family all the time, like, you had that, like, and you were fine. No, I'm not fine.
Yeah.
I'm not fine. I have a bucket list of medical issues. You should see my MyChart. If y'all don't know what MyChart is, it's a little app on my phone. And I'm not fine, you know, like, and I am one of those helicopter moms, I guess, that just, I don't allow my child to have that. You know, he has seen it firsthand that if my child has been given dye, the next few days after that, he is a tyrant.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and he has so much better behavior. He feels better. You know, he even, you know, I start to think and, you know, observe when he has these things with dye, and then, you know, he's like, you know, getting off of the dye, and, you know, his appetite goes and everything like that. Like, it's just insanity to me. Like I said, I could just do I could go on a tangent here. I won't, you know, because, you know, this is our behind the eyes, but it's just,
but it's a good
crazy
talking point because honestly, I brought it up recently on one of my posts because as months go on, we'll definitely have some episodes based on it, where so many strong, happy people have been falling into extreme depression. You know, is this something that's you know, because they're saying it's becoming a crisis at this point, but why? Everybody's trying to, you know, fix the issue, but nobody's stopping and saying, well, what is actually causing this?
Yeah.
You know, even me, like, you see me the other day. I mean, I pretty much know where my issues are, but for me to get to that point where I just hate life, why? I'm not that type of person. I know me, and I never been. What was a change? You know, what was a change? Is it the foods we're eating? Is it the chemicals that are being sprayed in the air? Is it the chemicals that are being sprayed on lawns or whatever?
Yeah.
You know, what exactly is it? That's where we're having a big problem. We're not solving the issues.
Yeah.
And like Ann Lund said, in other countries, like in Italy and all,
they're
life
so
is
serious.
different.
Yeah, they're so serious about like the health of their people. You know, we're just fed bioengineered junk.
Yeah. And we don't even know what's
in it. You know,
and
I'm not
anymore.
saying that people who, you know, eat red dye 40 and everything, like they're like, you're like, I'm not calling you like horrible or anything like that. It's just like, open your eyes and try it out, you know, give it a month or something like that. And I promise you, you'll see results. I promise you. Cause, you know, I've turned a lot of my coworkers on getting their children dye free, you know, not necessarily like I didn't force them. I just was like, listen, like, this is my experience. And I can't tell you how many of them are like, wow, all of the difference.
Yep. I practice fasting. I do fasting. I eat one meal a day. For the most part, there's days, you know, it all depends.
Where
but I do fasting. Yeah, she does. She forces me to eat.
Or I'm
She's
just like
freaking horrible.
I know. I just like, shh.
But when I do eat, I stay away from all of the processed foods as much as I can. I stay away from the carbohydrates as much as I can. So I'm eating more meats and steaks and stuff like that. I'll eat meat 3 times a day. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just find it much healthier because then we're not worried, because sugar is another addictive chemical, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking like natural, because white sugar, it's overly processed.
It is. Yeah.
So
because I don't think sugar is actually white.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's like brown.
Yeah.
So yeah, you definitely got to watch out with what you eat, because it makes a big difference.
Yeah. And even you have to be careful with the organic stuff you buy, because it's processed organic. You have to buy things like, we have a nice little market that we go to that nothing is processed. Like, everything is actually like
sure, 100% organic. You know?
Yeah, 100%. And that's all I give my child.
Yeah. And so big shout out to all the farmers. That's a
Hell
real
yeah.
important. Big shout out to all the
I
farmers.
know. And not to mention, you said all natural sugars and everything like that. Stir.
Yeah. I didn't get a link for Stir, but I mean, I haven't reached out to him, so I don't want to promote him too much until I know.
I was going to say, I'm totally going to reach out to them.
Yeah, I want to reach out to them. Stir is what I use to flavor my waters,
and I use
it's all
for
natural.
My son. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, like I said, I'll start giving them bigger shout outs once they prove to me that they're worthy of our advertising.
Yeah,
but yeah, we use. Like I said, we use a lot of natural stuff. And just like Waterloo, hey Sarah, get on that one. Waterloo. It's just like everybody has their brands of flavored waters and the seltzer waters and stuff like that, because seltzer water is natural, but a lot of them, they put a lot of sugars in and it's overly chemicaled. Waterloo is not. And I like Waterloo.
Yeah.
And again, I haven't reached out to them, but they did reach out to us and they gave us a free coupon for a case of this stuff. And I go through cases of this stuff myself.
He does.
And I love their flavors. Like this orange vanilla is really good. It's not overly
And I recently
powering.
found I have to reach out to them too, but I recently found like a kid brand. It's called Good Pop. And he's obsessed with it. He just went out and bought himself some kid cases too.
Yeah.
And and my son fight over them.
Yeah, we do actually. So, but again, they got to be worthy of our advertisement.
Killing 15 Minutes says we gave up most sugars in our house and it's done wonders for our health.
You see,
results.
And that's what I like to hear. It's like, it's not like it's not like veganism where you got to force it down people's, just throw them a vegan. All I'm saying is if you try different things out. Like I said, I eat meat and meat only, and I feel healthier with it. So people that eat a lot of sugar and then when they eliminate it and you start to see a change, it's almost like a chemical addiction because it really is. I mean, the processed sugar is a chemical. So yeah, like Killing 15 Minutes, they tried it and you actually notice the results. And by the way, Killing 15 Minutes, go ahead, drop a link because you're another podcaster. I'll allow you to do it. Sarah, do not ban them. Yeah, Killing 15 Minutes, another really great podcast as well. So please drop a link, and anybody else listening, check them out too.
Our fourth show.
Yeah.
Sophie Catherine.
Oh
my gosh.
Yeah, we made friends with Sophie
last year,
1 year. Yeah, 1 year ago. And we used to be on an app called Wisdom, and I don't want to promote them anymore because they became like the Tinder of podcasting.
Yeah.
And it's such a shame because it was a great app where it allowed podcasters to go on, do live talks, and they changed everything up and they made it social media. And it was really disappointing. But Hannah and I, we did a live show on there, and it allowed interaction and allowed people to come on and talk. And so Sophie joined in, and we just the way she was talking and the way she presented herself and spoke about the topic,
like instantly.
Instant connection with her, man. And I was really, really excited because she says, "Oh, we'll love to work together." And she actually followed up on that too.
Yeah, we were on her show.
Yeah, we went on her
show. It was a great show.
She is from the Sophie Catherine podcast. So Sarah, I think I gave you her link too. It's a Spotify link. Sophie Catherine podcast. I listened to her show. Like after she told us that she was a podcast, I went on and said, let me take a listen. That first season was raw. I couldn't believe it. I'm not going to give a whole lot away. I think it was the second or third episode where she was going into her life because she was basically in one of those religious cults. That's how she was raised. And so her mental stability was gone. But she went into this whole talk about a relationship that she was in. And she was going on. And it was good because she's a good storyteller. And it was like over an hour long. And I got into it. I was like, oh, this is good. This is good. By the time the end came, bam, I was hit with so much. Like the story, things changed. Things escalated so quickly on that. I couldn't believe it. I felt bad for her, but I was like, this wasn't fiction. She was telling a real true story about what happened to her.
Yeah.
And it was really powerful.
You got to just take a listen. Like Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Shit. Yeah. That's the best way to say it, man. It was really, and then after that, she just started bringing other people on that have their own problems, like everybody, and
Yeah.
talk. And it was, she created that safe space for people to, speak and talk about, what's going on with their lives. And she is now in season 2. She took a long break.
She did. She took a little sabbatical for herself, for her mental health. She did like a social media cleanse, which I always recommend for people. And, she went out and she got a promotion at her job. And then, you guys got back in contact and we were like, hey,
yeah, she was.
Let's get you on the show.
Exactly. Because, we did her show and I know she wanted to come on our show. But yeah, she did. She's amazing because, as a podcast, I'm always on social media just because I'm always trying to advertise. You always want to get people.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose your audience. She seems to walk away from everything and then come back like nothing ever happened.
She had said something on the show and she said, she doesn't care about that because the people who need to listen will be the people that are still listening when she comes back. I think she said something along the lines of that. Yeah. And I was like, holy hell.
Yeah, she said like the audience will always be there.
Hammer on the nail. That is so true.
Yep, exactly.
Hello, Michael.
Michael, hey, there's another fellow podcast. That's Michael from Just Us Thinking. We just mentioned you.
We did just mention you.
I'm gonna replay it really quick. We were talking about our episode called Artificial Flavoring, where we were talking about how
we brought up your sex doll episode.
Yeah, because when you mentioned it, I said, wow, that's something else that's artificial. Sex is becoming artificial. So everybody, welcome Michael.
Yeah, drop your link.
Drop your link too, because you're another podcaster. I'll allow that. Sarah, don't ban him either. Right?
God, but, Sarah, he's like just telling you off. Give him hell.
Nah, she knows. I'm just helping her along. We love you, Sarah. Thanks for moderating it. So Sophie Catherine, she's in season 2 and she changed everything up.
She did.
Because she was, it was her oldest show had a different title. So now she's calling it the Sophie Catherine podcast, a little bit more direct to the point. She's a flight attendant and she tells a lot of her stories about that and her travels all over the place. So she gets to see a lot of things, but she's very well spoken. Yeah. Changing the narrative was around. Like I said, I didn't want to mention it just because she changed it, but she, definitely changed things up and I felt a different, and she is, there's going to be a shift, but, she definitely changed. She's working on, what did she say? She was going to be a coach for.
Oh, she's going to be a certified life coach.
Life coach. That's what she's working on for this year, which is, I think is really good because I think she could really connect with people on that. Yeah. On that level. That's for sure.
And she's writing a book.
And she's in the process of writing a book, which is something I started doing. And I got 8 pages in and I think I gave up because, man, you know why? And here's the reason why. Like I told Sophie, I say it's so difficult to sit and write, but I could sit and talk and spill my words, and it comes so naturally. But when I sit down and try and do that on a keyboard, it never works the same because there's structure to it. And I don't like structure. Yeah. I think that's what it is.
I feel like as far as like writing a book, it's like if I were to ever have something so pertinent that I would write a book, like I would want to write a book about, I would literally just, I feel like use voice notes and like give it to my editor and be like, you can do the fucking work. You know what I mean? Speaking of
That's
books,
how it usually does.
I do want to shout out Anne Lund. She is writing a book as well.
Definitely. Anne Lund she was definitely part of the audience. She's probably still there, but Anne Lund is in the process, and you got to check out Haunted and Waiting as well, her blog page, and as well as her Facebook page. You must get on there because Anne is a dear friend of mine, grew up in the Bronx, and my very first real true haunted house was her home, and hear the stories.
Dragon Speak can help you write a book.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure it could, but I'm trying not to do the book now. I think my idea was to write about everything I talk about on the podcast, but I'm like, I have the podcast, so why do I got to do 2 things at once? It's easier for me and it's less stress for me. Maybe at the end of this year when I finally retire, I'll be able to sit down and do a book, that's what I'm thinking. But Anne Lund, Haunted and Waiting, definitely check out her blog page. Go on there. Yeah.
I totally did the wrong boo. I was like, boo. She was going, boo. Like,
Yeah, but Ann Lund, great friend of mine. Appreciate her. She's been on the show, but she got great. I can't wait. I hope the book is going well. And I can't wait to read.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thrilled with everything she speaks about.
I know. We're going to get the first copy of Ann Lund's book. We're going to get
Mhm.
the first copy of Sophie Catherine's book, and
Yeah.
they better be signed.
Yeah, for sure. Better be signed. And then if you all want the 8-page rough draft that I started, I'll auction it off maybe one day to like raise money for something.
Yes. I haven't read it yet. Maybe I'll proofread it.
You could proofread. I don't mind.
No.
It's there. It's sitting there.
Sophie's book, I'm so excited about.
I am too. Yeah, I can only imagine. Like I said, she's great with telling her story. She's great with helping people as well. And I just love the podcast. I love the direction this season's going in.
She was talking to us about her awakening and how her boyfriend had his awakening recently and how it's just connected them on such a stronger level. And it was just an overall good show. Like, I really enjoyed having her. And it was so nice to like basically kind of catch up like a year later to just see that energy shift that she had. Like, it was...
Yeah.
we left the studio and we were feeling so great. Like her energy just radiated.
Yeah, she's very good at what she does. And not only that, it's like when we met her basically off of the show we did, she's like a real genuine person. Because most of the time, whenever I'm, interacting with any other podcasters and all, no offense to you guys, but Sophie actually, when I said it was your mom and I's anniversary, and when she's, oh, it's your anniversary, she literally sent a gift. Like, I barely knew her, and it was just a real sweet thing. So all of you other fellow podcasters, don't forget, I'll definitely, because our anniversary is actually coming up, so you guys could send me gifts too. Yeah, no, these are my fellow podcasters. They were all cool.
Hey,
people.
NDT sent us a sticker.
He did. Yes.
They did send us stickers.
Yeah. So
everybody
else about that. Everybody else needs to send a present. and I'm very happy with stickers too. So that's cool.
I want something more than a sticker.
Yeah, I mean, you could always go to Reaper Apparel and get us some t-shirts.
I really want that sweatshirt.
Yeah, so my anniversary's coming, so you could get
my birthday's coming.
So, yeah,
bye.
Yeah. Bye. Nice way to do it, man. All right. Yeah, but oh, and speaking of which, just us thinking, he's starting his own merchandise company. So yeah, definitely. I didn't know if it was okay to mention it yet because I don't know how far ahead. But he did it anyway. Well, I didn't mention a name or anything. I just didn't know how far ahead, if he's got websites or anything else. But definitely we'll be promoting it once I got all the information from you. So we had great time with Sophie Catherine. We touched on a lot of stuff. And like I said, you got to listen to that podcast, especially that first season, those first 3 episodes. They're in depth. And you may just be listening to a regular podcast about somebody's life and happenings in love life, but it takes a turn. Like, I mean, I think it's the 3rd episode. It takes such a turn, and you'll be hooked and I think if you listen to anything, just listen to the first 3 episodes, and that should get you to follow her, Yeah. It's really, really great stuff. And then Hannah met somebody.
I did. That sounds so. To wrap up the month, we had Todd Taylor from Growing. Oh my God!
He's a growth mindset coach.
He's a growth mindset coach. I'm tired. Or buy them a coffee. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. You can buy us a coffee too. That's another thing. I totally forgot I had that. Thank you, Sarah.
Buy us a coffee, buy us a pizza.
A pizza, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I had what was that? About a month ago, my husband's car decided to take a shit. So we were like, we got to get rid of this thing before it completely dies, and we can't get rid of it. So we had driven up to a couple dealerships, and we ended up at this, a dealership, a Honda dealership. I'm a Ford girl, but anyway, got to get something good on gas. But I had walked in, and this, the front desk person was like, oh yeah, we'll just take a seat here. Like, someone will be right with you. And I had met Todd. Mm-hmm. And Gary can attest to this. I came home and I was just like, I just met this guy. And
Wow,
he's
that
like,
sounds
yeah,
weird too.
yeah, it does sound weird. I'm married happily. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Um, but even my husband was like, dang, like you should get him on the podcast. And I was like, you know what? Like, I need to get him on the podcast. I met him, and just the way that he was explaining, how he helps people, because he's a growth mindset coach. His website is Tailored Results. And I was in awe of him. And I was telling him about him, and he's like, well, just get him on the pod, like get him on the pod. And he had called me because we were working out final details with our car deal. And he was like, well, I am really interested in on being your podcast. Like, here's my, business email. And I was like, all right, yeah. So I had emailed him. We set it up. We did have, unfortunately, a little bit of technical difficulties with the pod.
Mhm.
There's a little bit of echoing. But
not on our end.
Yeah, but
we're professionals.
Yeah. But Todd just gave some wonderful insight. He's got this program that he runs people through, and he helps. What are they called? Oh my God, I can't remember the word right now.
Oh yeah,
God,
it's on his website.
It's on his website. Gosh, oh my God, hold on. He just runs you through. Oh my God, what's the word? Getting rid of your, oh my gosh, eliminating your saboteurs.
Saboteurs, that's
Gosh,
it. Yeah.
That's a
it's
hard
like sabotage.
word. Yeah, it's a hard word for me. There it is. Yeah. And how he gets you through those and just gets you through life and just puts you, oh my God, I just loved him.
Yeah.
Like, he's so fascinating, and just the way that he just generally, like, he's a guy that, like had so much money at one point, and he was like, I was so miserable. And he just kind of like had like almost like an awakening himself, and, just realized that like something true was missing.
Right.
And he's just a genuine guy.
Yeah. And that episode actually was released just yesterday.
Yes.
So if you haven't listened to it, definitely take a listen to it. But again, we apologize for the audio. I had to use AI to try and clean it up. It was just echo on his end that we did not hear on our end. And he kept saying there's an echo, and I just ignored it. I said, because I'm recording it and it sounds perfect, but apparently it picked it up. But we cleaned it up best we can. So we do apologize. We are professionals, by the way. But he had this great idea, because when it comes to growth mindset and his whole program, and by the way, if you do go on his website, he does have a free 45-minute session.
He does.
And he did offer, if you mention the Eye Opener Society on there, he'll give you something else free as well.
Yep, he did say that.
So yeah, if you are interested in it, in the program, or even if you just want to try it out for free, just go try it out for free. I mean, what the hell you got to lose? See, I do meditation, and there's so many different forms of meditation that you could get into. Growth mindset is just another form of it as well. And it may work. Like, every different type of meditation works for certain people. Some people can't do the solid meditation, so they need a coach behind them. And that's what Todd does. And his program does sound very interesting. It's a lot of it aligned to what I believe in. Because when I was talking to him, he was agreeing with everything. And he said, yeah, that's basically what his program is. So it's meditation, but it's more specific. Like, he's in sales, and he actually coaches other sales people with this growth mindset. It helps you become better at what you do. It helps you to get rid of those saboteurs, But he's really good. I mean, I'll tell you that much. Really calm, relaxing person. Great to talk to. He knows his stuff. And that's why we recommend you just checking him out, Todd Taylor. He's got a gift. I really say he's got a gift. And he did say he was a millionaire not that long ago, an absolute millionaire. And that money just didn't mean anything.
It didn't.
And that's why he just turned to doing this, to let other people understand too, that there's a lot more to life than just money.
And he's actually, with what he does, he actually was another salesperson that I actually had the honor of meeting as well. they're actually in a partnership, and they're going to start a retreat.
Right.
And we were like, oh yeah, we'll come visit.
I'm gonna probably sign up for for that program.
And they just want to help people, live their best life and go through programs and the mission statement of his coaching. The mission is to transform people's lives by asking the right questions, seeking and providing the proper answers while assisting them through open and transparent guidance and proven growth methodologies to help them achieve their ultimate success.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good way to explain it. But
and he had mentioned saging yourself and you finding your sage. And he just opened up my eyes when we were doing the podcast. He opened my eyes up so much more and just made me more in awe than I already was of like Gary said, he's just so calm and just what he does, it's just so empowering to me. Some people they look at that stuff and they're just like, it's not my thing, but like give it a try. The 45 minutes, it's free. It doesn't hurt. It's 45 minutes. But he just offers something great, and I need to take advantage of it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you, man, these are things like when you go through life and you meet people like this,
there's a reason.
There's a reason. Exactly. It turns you on to something else, another perspective, seeing things through somebody else's eyes. Like me and his
paths crossed for us, that like a reason. Like there's no doubt in my mind about that. Like it's just the way his soul and my soul like connected. Like it was just like I could just tell that me and him both were like on like that metaphysical level that we just want to help people. We want to see people gain the changes that they deserve in their life.
Right, exactly. And that's why people get brought together a lot of times.
Yeah.
It's just for reasons like that. Sunset Child.
Hey.
How you doing, Sunset Child? Good
Josh
to see
and Paulie. Hell yeah.
Yeah, no,
Hell yeah.
Here's some more podcast people. Josh, go ahead, drop your link too. Sarah, don't ban him.
She's listening.
I know.
She's like, do that. He's acting like she's not listening.
Yeah. So yeah, Josh and Paulie's show and all the podcasters, definitely drop your link too. So those were the episodes for the month. So what I would like to do, since a little bit of people are here, let's open it up, get some interaction going.
It made me think of yesterday when we were outside. Open the mosh pit. We were moshing yesterday.
Yeah, we were moshing, man. That's
my
cool,
2-year-old.
Man.
Yeah, but we would open up the floor if you guys have any questions, feedback.
Yeah, I mean we could talk about any of the topics like hero, the use of the word hero, spring cleaning the mind and clearing your mind, artificial flavoring. What else is artificial in life? You could ask questions about Sophie Catherine or Todd Taylor, but or you could ask questions about us and our show, whatever it is that's on your mind. Get a little bit of an interaction before we close it out. But for certain. And don't forget about Reaper Apparel. Reaper Apparel, use the code EyeOpener Society 10% for your 10%. And don't forget about Bear Blend, my favorite stuff, man. Love smoking this. 100% organic herbs. They got so many different types too, and they tell you exactly what it does. Smoke it, put it in a pipe, smoke it, burn it like incense, whatever you go. Yeah, man, there you go. Let's open up this fucking mosh pit, man. Let's get some interactions here. Talk to us, man. Yeah.
I keep thinking about while we're waiting for people, I keep thinking about you texting me the other day how me and him, we usually don't like tell our fellow coworkers about our show. We like to keep it separate from our actual jobs. But I keep just thinking about how he's like, fuck it, I'm just going to tell this girl about it. Like, obviously there was something in you that was like, I need to tell this girl about this,
Shameless promotion.
Yeah. And, I was trying to make that metaphysical and you like just totally fucked that up.
I fucked it up because it was purely just to get more people to listen, but that's okay. But it turned metaphysical. It went,
because he was like, she just came into my office crying. And I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, I just mentioned to somebody that, hey, keep this quiet because I don't want the whole world here at work to know. The whole world I want to know, but work I try to keep it on the down low because of
Yeah,
what I do and all.
me
But
too.
so, yeah, she went into her office and put on headphones and listened. I was like, all right, cool, that's another listen. But then she came in and of course, the first episode she puts on was Hannah's episode, her trauma episode. And it must have struck a chord because she came in. She goes, maybe I should have asked first what show to start with. She goes, but I put on Hannah's trauma episode, and she goes, it really connected with me, and she started to like tear up real quick. I was like, oh man. I said, yeah, you probably don't want to listen to this at work.
Yeah,
you might want to go listen to me doing the my chemtrail rant, something like that.
But yeah, it just makes me think like it's just crazy to me because I always say like if I'm just helping one person, then I'm doing what I wanted to do. So like the feedback with that was like it's in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Josh.
Yeah,
my boss watches my show. I invite everyone to call my boss and try to get me fired for what I've said on the pod. Same.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be loosening up a little bit because at the end of this year I am leaving, so hopefully I can start talking more freely. But I try the best I can to talk.
Entities at work.
Yeah,
and Lon, they'd have me committed if they read my book.
Yeah, for sure.
If they listen to my episode, my boss, my company would be like, "Are you okay?"
Maybe you get something out of it. I don't know. Yeah, it's difficult what we do and all that. I tell you, I was like,
all the
links. Yeah, thank you, Sarah. Yeah, if follow everybody's links there, all of our links and all that,
and most importantly, our website eyeopenersociety.podbean.com.
Yeah, ours for sure. Sarah, you rock. I really appreciate it. And again, for those who missed, Sarah is a really dear friend of mine.
She likes presents too.
Yeah, she loves presents as well. So buy her presents as well. Go on some Reaper apparel or something like that. But she does a great job moderating, and I don't think I could do. Like, I'm pretty free flowing. Like, I know you got the anxiety. I get anxiety if there's no moderator.
I know. As me, I'm like hugging a pillow.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Oh no, I feel you. It makes me uncomfortable. Your anxiety.
When you're quitting, you loosen up about a lot of stuff.
Yes, yeah, and it's not so much quitting. It's I'm just changing. I think
course. That's a good way to say it.
That's a good way to say it because I don't know what direction, but I do know at the end of the year, I'm done. I had it. I can't do this type of work
it's not
anymore.
In his mojo.
It's no longer. Yeah, it's something I used to really be into, but things change. But I think the biggest thing is because I like to talk freely. I don't like censoring myself. And a lot of times I have to censor myself because certain things I cannot talk about. But maybe by the end of the year, the new year, I could start talking freely and I could say all sorts of things.
Yeah, it's like he signed like an NDA or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically.
Letting go. Going on a new adventure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely going to go on a new adventure. And I want to go on adventures. I want to go on an adventure with Sarah too one of these days. Like we used to go find some abandoned places, man. Damn, I miss that. Especially now that the weather's getting nice. I'm starting to get a little bit of time.
I'll be here on hike.
Yeah, man. You can come join us, man. Please. Sarah dies on these trips. And I die too almost on one of them.
I need a battery fan.
No, we ain't doing that. I almost died on one of our trips. Sarah died plenty of times. It's cool. We had vultures circling us, and when we fell asleep, we fell asleep. I don't know, like a little cliffside.
I'm good.
Woke up and vultures were circling us, man.
I guess that's a part of my mother that's in me. I'm like, I'm good.
I was like, take me. I'm ready, man. This is it. I love it. It's in the environment I want to be in, man. Yeah. So, if nobody else has any other questions, comments, concerns. Yeah, no arguing. We don't argue. That's the only thing. We don't argue. That's not our show. We don't do any of that stuff. We just have conversation.
Unless someone wants to know. I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm kidding.
It's like politics. We don't do, and we don't sit and argue. We listen to everybody's viewpoint, and whatever it is you believe is cool. Because every now and then we do get into conspiracy theories, and I said, all we do is present it. This is what's out there. This is what's being said. Take it however you want. We don't mind the feedback. We just don't want people shoving it back in our face saying,
Well,
There's
have a
another
great
ways.
night.
Yes, definitely. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining us, Sunset Child. I guess we'll leave it at that, man. But I
Yeah.
gotta say, I appreciate this. This is our very first live Behind the Eyes.
And we will do. I am so tired.
You need some sleep. That's why we gotta get off.
Be doing this every month, wrapping up all of our shows, giving you guys, extra feedback and, well, not extra feedback, Jesus, extra, info and thoughts, and then, hopefully getting your guys' feedback. We look forward to doing these. Like, this was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, same here. And yeah, Behind the Eyes is going to be done every month. So look for us. We'll put up the postings. Hopefully we get some more people start coming in. And we may even start doing and sticking in a couple live episodes every now and then just to get on there if we have the time to do it. But we do promise once a month Behind the Eyes. So thank everybody there for joining us. Thanks to all of our fellow podcasters out there. We appreciate the support 100%, man. It's really, really important to us. We thank Sarah from the bottom of my heart. Thanks again, buddy, man. You came through again and really appreciate it. Listen to us. Go to our website, eyeopenersociety.podbean.com, or just find us on any of your favorite. We're on every platform now, including Pandora. We used to be so big on Pandora until they changed, and we disappeared off there. So I'm so happy.
Shout out to Rude Dude Podcast.
Yeah, Rude Dude Podcast for telling me what I had to do to get on there. So really appreciate it. Now we're everywhere.
We are.
Yeah. So everybody have a wonderful night.
Yes, have a wonderful night, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much.